Okay, welcome back, guys. This is round 3 of the little friendly 1750 point tournament, and it's going to be a Wolves of the Sea Civil War. We're both on 0 and 2 after my disaster versus the Lizardmen, and then we got shot off the table by the Empire. So I'm down on the bottom tables. There's my list, and we're facing a horde of skin wolves here. 3 units of 5 skin wolves. He doesn't have any magic. He's just got a Marauder tribe chieftain as his general. We'll have a look at his army in a minute. So he's heavily outnumbering me here. I've got some quality characters to help me out. So we'll see what happens. There's one of the standard maps. Doesn't really matter this stage because neither of us have any shooting. So it's going to be plenty of combat in this one. So let's have a quick look at his army here. He's got 3 units of 5 skin wolves. So there's one there screening some Marauder horsemen. Some more skin wolves there. More Marauder horsemen. There's a weird looking chaos giant spawn. Some dragon ogres. So he's got a small unit of 3 and then a single dragon ogre. Some hounds, some more skin wolves, more hounds, and then he's got a unit of Slanesh Chaos Warriors, basically just for the Warriors duel at the start of the battle, and some more Marauders and hounds. So I'm heavily outnumbered here, and also his general's just hiding there with some Marauders behind the building there, just to keep them safe. And in this scenario, you get an extra 100 points or something for killing the general. So there's my block of Marauder Berserkers in the middle. There's the Huskals and my giant spawn and some Marauders out there. So I've stacked my left side with my Skin Wolves and the Demon Prince to maybe attack on that flank. Anyway, here's the Warrior's Duel. So he sends out his Chaos Champion. And I do manage to get 1 wound through, but he's got the Charm Shield and he rolls a 5+. And then he promptly slays my Huskal champion. So the Wolves of the Sea Horde has defeated me, and they will be going first. We've done our Vanguard moves with the dogs and everything.
Let's go. Turn 1.
Okay, so the Horde Wolves are going to be going first, and they're just going to shuffle forward and try and draw some charges. So the dogs, he's got more hounds than I have. I only got 1 unit. So he's just going to move them up a little bit and bait some of my charges. My Marauder horse way out on the right flank. He's going to try and bait the Huskals and maybe my little Berserkers there. But the Huskals are sort of going to clip my dogs. So they're not going to quite make it through. And then his Skin Wolves move up on his right flank. And they'll bait a charge from my Marauder horsemen, which are just out of picture here. So my Marauder Horsemen, Mark of Corn, are good, but they get themselves in a lot of trouble most of the time. So no shooting or anything, and his spawn only moves about 5 inches or something. So he's just going to try and bait my Huskals. They can't quite wheel around my dogs, which is lucky. I think I should probably not vanguard them up because they're not protecting the Huskals from the charge that they don't want to do yet. They don't want to charge in the middle of his army. But the Marauder horse, I probably need more. If we're going to use them, you need dogs to screen them because they can hit hard, the Corn Marauder horsemen, but most of the time they get themselves in trouble. So he's just sort of waiting there. My Huskals are the only real punchy unit I have in the middle, so they're facing off against quite a lot. So they've got a bit of work to do. And on that flank, so there's my Marauder horseman made a long bomb charge in there. And the Skin Wolves, so there's 2 units of 5 Skin Wolves there. And I learnt how to use Skin Wolves in this game. I hadn't been using Primal Fury, which is their best rule. And I think Warped Form, the best thing you can do is go for Toughened Flesh, which gets them up to Toughness 5, I think. And so my Marauder horsemen are just going to bounce off there. And then die, and then those Skin Wolves are going to be up on my flank. But most of the games, I knew all my rules, but I just kept forgetting to roll for Primal Fury. So in this game, I learnt that Primal Fury is pretty good, and also if you roll a double with Skin Wolves, they get Frenzy as well. So yeah, I did forget quite a few rules in these games, but anyway, I'm just having a go. So they're going to die. My demon prince is going to be surrounded by skin wolves in a minute, so he's thinking about what he's going to do. And he got a temporary buff of toughness on him. I went up there to try and zap a few things and didn't get my spell off properly. And so they're going to break, and the skin wolves will be running up that flank. They'll overrun quite a fair way with swift stride, and they'll be just on the flank here of my demon prince. So my demon prince is wondering what's going on. He's going to have a lot of work to do on that flank. So it's a good army, the horde of skin wolves, lots of options. And then my marauder horse on the other side beat up his dogs, and they're going to get counterpunched by his marauder horsemen. So I've been well outmaneuvered on turn one. My spawns moved up slowly, and my dogs in the middle here have got, I'm outnumbered by dogs and skin wolves. So we're going to have to do the Huskarls and the Demon Prince have got a lot of work to do, and maybe the spawn. So that's it. He's moved up, drawn some charges. I Steed of shadowed the Huskarls up in front of his spawn, and you can see my Demon Prince here. He's got skin wolves in front of him and beside him. So I was probably a little bit too aggressive with him on that flank. Let's see if he can fight his way out of it. And that's pretty much it. So he's drawn some charges from me on turn one. I'm going to lose a couple of units of Marauder Horsemen.
Turn 2.
All right, turn 2. So, my Marauder Horseman did a long bomb charge, killed his Warhounds, and now they're going to get murdered by his Marauder Horseman. So he's outfoxed me there because he had some Warhounds. I probably need more Warhounds if I'm going to run those Marauder Horsemen. So counterpunch there, I'm going to lose them. And then in here, he's going to charge, those skin wolves are going to charge my hounds. I decide to flee with my hounds, and then he's going to pursue the hounds. The hounds get away because they burst through my Huskarls and everything. And then his skin wolves are going to run into the Huskarls, which is probably good for him. And then I used Steed of Shadows last turn to fly those little berserkers, into 5 berserkers there, just to try and block his dragon ogres and his spawn. So I'm hoping those little guys can just hold them back for a turn. And then my Demon Prince is surrounded by skin wolves. So they're my hounds. My hounds fled through there, and then his skin wolves pursued after them and ran into my Huskarls, which stops all my furious charge and all that sort of stuff. So I need the Huskarls to hold there. My Exalted's going to be out there not in contact, so he's only going to get one attack with his Ogre Blade. So we'll see if we can hold against those skin wolves. I've got to move in there. And then my spawn's moved up, and he's just going to try and block me with those dogs there. So the Huskarls are in a bit of trouble. They've been charged by skin wolves, and they're going to get jammed up with dogs and everything. So I need them to bust out. They're probably my best unit with the Exalted in there. So we'll see how they go. So there's the skin wolves ranked up as far as they could with their movement. And my Exalted champion, he hasn't got a champion himself, so I can't challenge and get the Exalted into combat. His reputation precedes him. So I'm hope the boys can hold there, and then you can see my little berserkers up there in front of the dragon ogres. They get charged by the dragon ogres and everything, and then over here, his skin wolves spy the flank of my berserker unit, and so they're going to ignore the Demon Prince and just charge up over here into the flank there. I do have a counterpunch with my own skin wolves, but I need those guys to at least hang on for a turn. They are in close order with a banner, so we'll see if they can hang on, at least fall back or something. And then, he's just putting some dogs up there to block my giant spawn. He's not going to do much this game, my giant spawn, except kill some dogs. And his Marauder Horsemen are killing me over there. And then my little berserkers, so these guys, I ranged them there like that, and they're going to hopefully just hold the spawn and the dragon ogres back for a turn. We'll see how they go. They do a 6-up ward save versus non-magical attacks, so I'm just hoping to roll a bunch of 6s, maybe get some attacks back. I was 1 inch away, so I might even actually get to go before the dragon ogres because they've got great weapons. Or does he? I think he might decide just to use hand weapons. Anyway, we'll see how they go. That'll be interesting. A masterful plan to use Theatre Shadows to get them up to block those charges. And then here's a nice shot of his skin wolves into the flank of my berserkers. So they're going to make short work of a few berserkers, but because I've got a standard and close order, etc., and the Demon Prince is not too far away, I think. Anyway, they don't break, they just fall back in good order. So that leaves those skin wolves exposed to my skin wolves. So we're going to have a skin wolf battle in a minute. And yeah, so that's it. So they fall back in good order, and those skin wolves are following up. And then here, the Huskarls, they actually do pretty well, and they beat up the skin wolves. And because they've got close order and standard, etc., they fall back in good order through the dogs, and then I'm going to pursue into the dogs. So the Huskarls have done pretty well. I think I might only lose one or something. So that's my key unit. I've been enjoying using the Huskarls. They're like a glass cannon, but they, if they get in, they can hit hard. So the attack from the Ogre Blade might have done a couple of wounds or something. So the Huskarls do well there. Skin Wolves bump through the dogs, and then we're into the dogs, ready for the next. And then the funny thing here is my little berserkers that I used Theatre Shadows there, they actually killed a Dragon Ogre. They promptly died after that with the spawn, etc. I might have passed a few. I think I might have had one in the champion or something, but because they're frenzied and flails, I actually managed to kill a Dragon Ogre. So that was a bonus. They did pretty well. And that's pretty much it for that turn, I think. What else happens? Oh, in my turn, the Huskarls have burst through into the hounds there. So you can see the Huskarls chase the skin wolves back. And they've gone into the dogs, so they'll kill the dogs in my turn, and then they'll overrun into the skin wolves again. So my exalted champion is getting closer to his Dragon Ogres, because I want him in there chopping them up. Then my Demon Prince takes the easy route and goes over there and chases those Marauder Horsemen off the table. He beats up a couple, and then they run off the table, so he's going to turn around and threaten the skin wolves. And I get my own skin wolves. You can't quite see it here. They get into the rear of the other skin wolves that are into my berserkers. And his spawn is hanging about, wondering if he's going to go into my exalted there. So we're into the skin wolves there again. So we're going to beat them up again because we overran into them. And then I'll be into his, what are they called? Shartek, the Dragon Ogre champion with a 2-up save. So the Huskarls are doing pretty well. They've fighting off those skin wolves, and they're punching through the middle, which is better than I expected. I've got my Demon Prince alive and on the flank, and that's a bit of a mess in the middle. So his skin wolves fell back in good order. I decided just to hang back with the berserkers and form up in skirmish, and I'm going to get charged from all directions with skin wolves in a minute. And then I've still got my skin wolves alive. I've only got a little unit of 4, but they're still alive. And the Huskarls in the middle are punching through. So he's got to decide if he wants to send the spawn into there, into my exalted on the end. So they're going to beat up those skin wolves, and then they're going to overrun again and into his Dragon Ogre champion. And he's a pretty good unit, that guy. He's got a 2-up save, and he's hard to kill. And then his Dragon Ogres are going to decline to come into the exalted as well. A bit of a mess here. My boys are surrounded by skin wolves, but the Demon Prince is poised to come in. So whether he wants to charge the Demon Prince or go into the berserkers in turn 3. So it was a big turn 2. The Huskarls are punching through the middle, doing better than expected, and the Demon Prince is still alive.
Turn 3.
All right, so we go into turn 3. Just a clarification here. I keep saying by mistake that the berserkers are banner and close order, but they're actually open order. It's the Huskarls that are close order. It's taken me 3 games at this tournament to realise that the Huskarls are actually close order. So that's an extra +1 for the Huskarls. So But the berserkers, I keep saying standard, but they're open order. All right, there's my giant spawn. He's going to eat some dogs there, but that's about all he's going to do all game. His marauder horsemen kill mine off the table. They are now. And then he's got a choice here. His spawn can go into the flank here, but he decides to go after some berserkers. There's my berserkers with banner and open order getting mauled to death by skin wolves, and his skin wolves are going to chase me, and then they're going to end up in the woods. We're going to beat up those skin wolves again. Now there's my spawn chasing one dog. Well done, giant spawn. And there, so those berserkers die. And then the funny thing is here, he decides to charge his spawn into the little unit of 5 berserkers. Just putting them back there to show they died. And they did 2 wounds to the spawn before they died. So that was pretty good. I think the stomps got them in the end. So they did well. Again, the little units of berserkers. Very handy for about 52 points or something. Then my Exalted with his ogre blades into the Shartak. Doesn't kill him, but they break him and chase him. And then my skin wolves, I buff them up and I get a long bomb charge into the flank of the dragon ogres. I decide not to go after his skin wolves because they're all buffed up with toughness 5, etc. So their buffs will fall off at the start of his turn. So I'm learning a lot about the skin wolves' warp form and how to use it better. There's my spawn spinning around in circles, not doing much, and so that's the situation. So those skin wolves are actually breaking and running. And then I'm going to beat up that Shartak, whatever its name is, and he's going to run that way as well. And then we'll be into turn 4.
Turn 4.
Okay, well, here we are, turn 4, 5, 6. You might notice here that the sun is getting very bright through that window. It was about 40 degrees outside. We did have a very crowded room upstairs, but we had some portable air conditioners going, etc. So it wasn't too bad, but we were right near the window facing west and we were starting to cook. So I probably didn't record as much as I should have in the last few turns, but you'll get the gist of it here anyway. So the mighty Huskarls have survived, and they're just going to get drawn into some frenzied charges after those skin wolves. But they're all going to rally. I think maybe his Shartak runs off the table, but those skin wolves will survive. The purple one's there. And then the spawn's not doing anything. He's just running around in circles after killing the dogs. That's all he did. Then the big one is he runs his spawn over there to block the charge from my Demon Prince. And then I think his skin wolves charge my skin wolves. I might have fled the charge or something. But you get the idea that my skin wolves are going to run off in that direction, and the Huskarls aren't going to do anything for the rest of the game except survive. So that saves me quite a few points. And there's the mighty Demon Prince. He's unwounded at the moment, and he's got a fair few buffs on him. So I want to get him stuck in. The skin wolves aren't going to take him on. The spawn decides not to take him on. So his spawn parks in front of the Demon Prince, and then I think these skin wolves are chasing my skin wolves off, I think. So my skin wolves are going to run away, and then they're going to rally. So they're going to be alive at the end of the game. My Demon Prince goes into the giant spawn. It's a bit of a toss-up with the Demon Prince. You sort of, sometimes you want him in combat, sometimes you want him casting spells. So you can see my skin wolves are running away. They're going to run and then rally by the end of the game. And then my Demon Prince fighting the giant spawn, and then he's going to send more skin wolves into the flank of the Demon Prince. The Demon Prince is going pretty well, but he loses a few wounds to unstable. And then he fights back. He beats up the skin wolves, kills the giant spawn, and you can see he's taken 3 wounds. He's only got 1 wound left, so he's going to survive the game with 1 wound. He's going to break those skin wolves, kill the giant spawn. So he's a bit of a legend. I was just thinking that he's, with only 4 wounds, he's a bit fragile. You're a bit worried about putting him in sometimes. Sometimes you want him out casting spells, and then you don't want to waste all those points, so you want him to kill something. So in this game, he did pretty well. So he redeemed himself after a few of the other games. So the Demon Prince survived with 1 wound left. The Exalted and the Huskarls survived. and my giant spawn survived, so I had a fair few points left on the table. It was a very bloody battle, and it ends up being a narrow win. We win like 11-9 or something. My Demon Prince goes over, tried to zap his general, but didn't do anything. My Skin Wolves rallied, and I've still got the Spawn and the Huskarls, and he's still got his Chaos Warriors hiding back there and some Marauder Horsemen, but it ends up being only a couple hundred points difference, I think. So a very narrow victory. So we've gone 2 losses and then finally a win in the Wolves of the Sea Civil War in the end. So sorry I cut it short there, but we were starting to cook, and that was the end of the battle. Anyway, so thanks for watching. I'll probably put the chaos aside for a little while now. Might get out the Tomb Kings for the next few weeks, and then probably back onto the Orcs. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll catch you later. Bye for now.